everyone, my name is Kailani Andrade and I'm the founder of lifestyle fashion blog Kailani's Corner. My blog focuses on food, fitness, fashion, and fun DIY projects. I founded my blog in December 2010. I was a freshman college student at San Francisco State University. I went to school Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I found myself being extremely bored on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So I would shop, I would take pictures, I would cook, and then I came across a couple blogs that inspired me to start my own blog. So in December, I started my blog, and I actually had just gotten my Nikon as a gift. So I decided that once I got a great camera that I would start my blog and my journey. So from there, it's kind of just expanded. It will be turning 3 next year, which is kind of exciting. It's my senior year in college. I actually transferred to University of San Diego. At University of San Diego, I'm studying humanities with an emphasis in visual fine arts with a minor in psychology. So I'm just here to answer you guys at Define My Style, the readers and shoppers of Define My Style. You guys had some questions about what it takes to be a fashion blogger, how to become a fashion blogger, and kind of the behind the scenes work of a fashion blogger. Well, I'm not just a fashion blogger, so I don't just write about fashion. My blog focuses on food as well as fitness and obviously fun DIY projects like I've mentioned before. I guess we'll just start with the first question. So the first question is, what skills would you recommend to become a blogger? So blogging doesn't sound as easy as it is, especially if you want to become a well-known blog. And I'm obviously not a super well-known blog, but it takes time and effort and commitment. A lot of people are going to tell you no, it's impossible, but don't take no for an answer. If you're passionate about what you do and if you see it succeeding in the future, then go for it. Don't let anybody stand in your way. So the skills I would recommend are learning how to HTML code. It might sound kind of nerdy and not exactly the funnest part about blogging, but I use it every single day. I HTML code my pictures into my website. I use them in a third-party hosting, which we can talk about later. So HTML code is a huge part in blogging. It teaches you how to embed things and all sorts of stuff. So I actually happened to take an HTML class my sophomore year of college. Just by chance, I kind of thought it was going to count as something, but I thought it was going to count for something, but it actually didn't. But it worked in my favor because now it completely helps me with what I do on my blog every day. So HTML coding is important. They have tutorials online, they have how-tos online, and they also have classes at community college. So another skill I would recommend is learning how to take quality pictures. That is my biggest pet peeve when I go to blogs, and their pictures are kind of, they're taken with iPhones or they're taken with camera phones or like flips and stuff like that. So my big thing is learning how to use this DSLR. It's not hard. For the first couple times, if you're going to purchase one, this is actually a Nikon D3000, and we'll talk about that later too. But you can learn how to shoot in automatic, or you can learn how to shoot with no flash. And I'm a natural light photographer, so all my pictures are taken during the daylight with no flash. I don't like the kind of appearance a flash gives off, so I take all my food pictures, all my outfit pictures, and everything in the natural sunlight to avoid using flash. Another important skill for a fashion blogger, lifestyle blogger, food blogger is learning how to either collage or graphic design some type of way. My collage software is Photoshop. I use Photoshop Elements, which you can also purchase, but I use CS Photoshop, CS5, and I also have a fun little tablet. So these are my little gadgets I use, and this is how I create my collages. This was about $200, $200, I can't remember, and it's great. It essentially works. This is your pen, and this is your tablet, and you write on your pictures, and you do graphic design and all that kind of stuff on your tablet. So this is a great investment, but if you're just starting out, I would wait to buy this because it's a little advanced for beginning bloggers. Okay, so the next question is how to get started. So it may seem easy. It's actually very easy if you would like to start just an average Joe blog, but if you really want your blog, if you want to be proud of your blog, if you want it to be something that you think can possibly turn into a career or make it far, then I think it's important that you invest your time, effort, and some money into it. First, you have to pick a hosting site. You can use Blogspot, you can use WordPress, you can use Tumblr, you can use Typepad. There's all sorts of different things. I've tried a couple. I've tried Blogspot. I didn't really like it that much. A lot of bloggers use it though. It's great. It's hosted by Google. It's pretty, I heard from what I hear, it's easy to understand, but when I was trying to use it, I wasn't able to customize it to what I wanted it to look like through Blogspot, so I switched to WordPress. And with WordPress, I started at WordPress.com. It's free. The only disadvantage is still you can't customize it the way you want it. And I was very set on the way I wanted it, the way I wanted my blog to look. So I decided to invest money to have a technical person kind of take over on the back side of my website and deal with all the CSS coding and all that kind of stuff to visually make it look good for you guys. So I switched to WordPress.org from WordPress.com. WordPress.com is on a server. They have their own server, but when you have WordPress.org, you have your own server. So I host through HostGator, HostGator.com. It's about $10 a month to have your own .com, which is extremely important. I think that everyone should have their own .com. I don't like seeing blogs that have, like, say, bananas and shoes .blogspot.com. Like, I would rather it just be bananashoes.com. It's a lot easier when you're working with companies, when you're telling people about it. A lot of people don't remember the .blogspot or the .tumblr or the .wordpress.com. So you just want to make yourself a .com for branding purposes. So I invested in that. It's about $10 a month. Great investment. If you're planning on making this your career, yes, you need to have a .com. It's extremely important. So another thing that's important to get started is to customize it. You need to have it organized. You need to have a organized aesthetic to your blog, so when people come to your site, they want to read, they want to see pictures, they want to, it's easy to navigate for them. Sites that I find I don't find myself going back to are the sites that like I don't exactly know what they're about. You kind of like get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and they're just not very visually well organized. So I think that's very important. Very important aspect of blogging is to learn how to appeal to your readers. Another question is, where do I find my images on my site? I take all my photos with my Nikon D3000. All the photos that I'm in, obviously I don't take. I do have a tripod. I don't use it for outfit photos. I do use it for other photos such as food, and collages or Finally Friday posts and stuff like that, but I don't use it when I take outfit photos. I either have my roommate Mia take it, who I'm sure you've probably seen on my site. She's an amazing photographer, or I have my boyfriend, my mom, or my sister take my photos. And it's important when you're taking outfit photos to take a ton so that you have a lot of options and you don't have to go out and reshoot your outfit. So with my phone, or with my camera, I have 3 different lenses. I have a 50mm, which is a prime lens. This is actually the lens. Sorry, this camera is not too great, sorry. But this is the prime lens, and I use this for majority of my shooting. I use it for everyday pictures. I use it for, sometimes I'll use it for outfit posts, depending on the lighting. But majority of the time I use it for food. It's great. It lets in a lot of light, and the photos are very crisp and clear. The only thing with prime lenses are you have to either, it doesn't zoom. So if I'm here, my subject's there, I can't zoom into my subject. So however far or close the subject is, that's what the picture's going to look like. You can't zoom in or zoom out. So that's one important thing, is to invest in this. So I take all my photos myself, and if I do use photos, you will see the link to them below. Generally, I find a lot of photos on Pinterest or other magazine sites or the web, but there will always be a link below to give credit where credit is due. So another lens I have is an 18-55, and I actually got that with my camera. So it came with the body. And then the other telephoto lens I have is a 55-200. So that one does zoom, and I use that sometimes for action shots, or if we are taking outfit photos, it's a little bit easier so that my photographer, in this case Mia, can just stand there and kind of snap away by zooming and zooming out. So how do I create my collages, as we spoke about before? I create my collages in CS5 Photoshop, which is a rather pricey program. I actually have it because I'm a photographer as well. So that is a great software, but also if you have a Mac or a PC, I think, Snagit is a great program. You can download it. I want to say it's like $70. But that's great. It allows you to snap in, click photos, and kind of create a collage. And then the tablet we already spoke about. So, what is my favorite part about blogging? My favorite part about blogging is that I'm able to kind of do whatever I want with it. Being a blogger, it's very important to be persistent and not let people tell you no, because people will tell you no, like you can't do it. There's so many blogs out there, whatever. But it's what you make of it. I mean, if you put your heart and soul into it, and people see that you're putting your heart and soul into it, then you're gonna attract people, you're gonna attract followers, you're gonna attract readers, and they're gonna want to keep coming back to your site. So being passionate about what you're writing and what you're putting on your site is extremely important. A lot of people are asking, I got some questions saying, how do you get a lot of followers? There's not an exact formula. You just have to be patient. You're not gonna have 10,000 followers the first day. I mean, yes, it is the internet, but people aren't going to find your blog until months, even years. So it takes patience, it takes persistence. My favorite quote that my grandpa and my mom always told me was, "Wishing will not bring success, but planning, persistence, and a burning desire will." So that's one quote I completely stand by, especially through my blogging career. It's just, you have to be persistent, you have to be dedicated, especially if you want your blog to succeed and you want people to follow you and you want people to come back, because ultimately that's the goal, is you want people to start coming back to your site on a day-to-day basis. And for that to happen, you have to post content. You have to post it every day. A lot of bloggers will post once every week or twice every other week, and if you want followers, you need to let them know that you're going to be providing content on a day-to-day basis. I post Monday through Friday. I give myself holidays, so I didn't write on Memorial Day, but I do sometimes I do surprise posts on the weekend. It kind of just depends on how I feel, but it's important to have posts lined up Monday through Friday if you want to attract people to your blog. So another question is, how do you manage being a college student and running two full-time businesses? So it's obviously difficult. I'm going to be a senior at USD. I told you my major is a little bit earlier. I generally take 18 to 21 units, which is rather insane. And because of this, I was a transfer student, and I needed all my classes to transfer, but they didn't. So I'm in the bind of having to take extra classes, which leads me to take more amount of units throughout the semester and the summer and intersession and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. I do manage it. One of my big things is I do a lot of lists, and I never never used to like lists. They kind of gave me anxiety, and they still do give me anxiety, but a lot of the times I forget about what I have to do. If I let my email go for 2 or 3 days, I'm up to my head in emails. I have no idea where to even start, between vendors and clients and teachers and stuff. So one thing is stay on top of your email. If you're also a college student and a blogger, stay on top of your email. Write lists, write them in priority. I use gel markers, and I write pink is you need to do immediately, blue is you have to you have time, this is due in like a week, and sometimes I'll put like the due date next to it, but that definitely helps. I also give myself time. I used to be one of those people who stayed up late in like the beginning of the semester, but I realized that you need to have your downtime. And so my downtime I consider my gym time. I go to the gym or I lay on the beach. And I really try, my life is so consumed with technology, as you can see, like everything I do revolves around the computer, the camera, anything else, emails, all that kind of stuff. So I really try to disconnect from technology. I think that's a really important thing to do, is to turn everything off. I turn my phone off sometimes, and it's great. It feels nice. I go to the beach, and I completely forget about everything. And I think that by taking those little breaks, it makes me more driven and focus when I do come back. I love to take pictures, but sometimes you get burned out, and so I think taking the breaks really helps to not only keep me focused in school, but keep me focused on my blog and in photography. So those are the questions that I decided to answer from the questions that were submitted. I hope that I answered majority of your guys' questions. A lot of them seem to be along those lines. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. My email is on my site, or you can ask me on my Facebook page. You can like my page at Kailani's Corner. Yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, blogging is not easy, and it's not always fun. I mean, I'm up at 6 in the morning sometimes, and I'm in bed at 2 in the morning editing pictures or writing posts or emailing brands and vendors and designers and stuff. So it's what you put into it. And I think that if you're really passionate about what you do, then your readers and followers will be able to see. So I hope that this video helped, and please feel free to contact me any other way.